Hey, welcome back. 10:33, 27 minutes before 11 a.m. Broadcasting live out of the Twin Cities. If you're in that time zone, the central time zone, you're going to hear from the curator of the Mommy Revolution, Carla Barnhill. Hello, Carla.
Morning. Only central time zone?
Well, is it 10:30? Is it 10:33?
Oh.
Yeah. No, we are not restricting you to the central time zone. Yeah, we're not bottling up your voice.
That's different. That's new.
But Carla, let me ask the new guy if I heard him right in that little ad there for the weather, the little pitch on the weather. New guy, Glenn, were they saying that it's? Were you saying it's going to be 77 degrees in Minneapolis on the 20th of September tomorrow?
Yeah.
77. I like that. Can you believe this?
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
That sounds like September in Minnesota.
Sounds like September in Minnesota. It's going to be a glorious day. Well, Carla Barnhill, if you don't know her, she is the curator of the Mommy Revolution, where she has a conversation about what's going on in parenting in new ways. And Carla, I don't know what you're going to launch into, but I tried to pull up an audio clip to be able to support an argument you've been making for the last year on this radio program. And that is, you've been saying all in all, or over and over, how there's this pressure on moms, especially, that come out of this conservative kind of parenting model, religious and non-religious, that I'm always like, seriously, people say that stuff? And I was in North Carolina last week, and I heard a radio show, this guy named Neil Bortz, and I don't know the fellow, but apparently he's quite the conservative. And he was going on about like screaming kids in restaurants and how, you need to get them out of there because if you let the kids scream in a restaurant, and I couldn't find this audio clip because he doesn't archive all of their audio, but I'm going to find it and play it. He said, if you let those kids do screaming in the restaurant, then what are you going to say when they hit somebody on the playground? And then what are you going to say when they steal something? Then what are you going to say when they rape someone? Then what are you going to say when they murder someone? You have no right to say don't murder if you let a kid scream in a restaurant.
There you go.
It was unbelievable. I mean, I grabbed my phone and did a little audio recording and said I should have recorded it all live right there, but I just said, I'll go on and get the archive for this. It doesn't have the archive. I couldn't believe it, so I wanted to give you the you are right after all this time. You've been absolutely right about that. I had no idea.
Neil Bortz to prove it to you, huh?
Well, I just didn't think people really talked like that.
I know. Well, that's because they don't say it to you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, see, I think that's probably right because I don't feel that pressure of, No. When I hear that guy, I thought that this guy's dangerous. That's what I thought. He thought about. I mean, he's talking about toddlers that you can't let toddlers scream in a restaurant. You should. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what he was arguing, and I thought, no, nobody actually makes that argument, do they? Man. Yeah. Yeah. To its illogical,
it's irrational conclusion, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody's. Yeah, right. Well, and you know what it was even, and I know you don't want to talk about this, so we don't. You weren't planning to talk about this, so we don't have to take all the time. But the other layer of it, he said, and that will basically bring the end to civilization. I know. I mean, it was like there's parents who just get their kid into the Red Robin, and they can't help it when their little kid is screaming happy or having a little bit of a tantrum. Yeah, the end of civilization. Not the fact that people are eating at the Red Robin or the Old Country Buffet, but the fact that how the toddlers behave there. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out to you and say you were right all along. How do you like that? Well, what were you going to talk about today before I... Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
Well, I've got a little anecdote on this. I was talking to a mom the other day, and we were talking about some. She said, I need to get some babysitters around. She said, because frankly, I just need a break from these kids, or I feel like I'm losing my mind. Now, she's gone through a bit of a change recently with how they're doing, how her and her husband are doing parenting, and so she's come back in to do more of that. And she was just like almost confessing, sort of sadly, like, I don't know if there's something wrong with me.
Must be a
I'm
bad
just
person.
saying
Yeah.
I need a little help here because I'm losing it. It- Mhm. 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 Mm. Five tips. Are we going to go from number 5 to number 1 or number 1 to number 5? Well, let's start with number 3 and then go number 3 to 4 and then 3 to 2 and then 5. Okay, here we go. So number 3. Okay. Okay, and do you want the first one to be number 3, 5, or 1? Number 3. Okay, number 3. Mm-hmm. 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 And typically you're suggesting that someone else care for the children when you go away from them.
Right, yeah.
I was just filling in the blanks for people that are like, All right. Yeah. Number 3, get away. Mm-hmm. Mm. Get away and get a little rest. All right. A help list. Mm-hmm. The Beatles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm jotting these down. Is help a subset of number 3, get away, or is it? Okay, but it's not one of the other 5. All right. That's real. Mm-hmm. That's right. You know, we're going to have the guy who is the evolutionary evangelist who wants to see the old debates between creation and evolution and religion and evolution go away. And I should ask him about how come people how come parenting's so hard, right? Why'd we evolve like that? Oh, you do? What is it? Oh, it's social pressure. Okay. Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Ah. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. Telling them that they're lovable, right? To telling them that they're important in the world. Telling them that they're important in the world. They can tell themselves that. That's right. Write them in a note. Put it in their lunchbox. All right, we're down to. Ah. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to try to put these in order. Number 3, get away, so you can get a little bit of rest, so you can get your head cleared. Number 4, ask for some help. Number 2, be open about what's hard and admit it. Number 5, find out what's life-giving for you and pursue those things. And number 1, set better boundaries. So I went 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. The 5 things from Carla Barnhill. For those of us who don't like the linear, even though I do. So the number 1 thing: get away and get a little bit of sleep. Yeah, and then work on it. And over there at the mommyrevolution.com, I bet there's some help for people to say, like, well, I don't know what kind of boundaries to set. Because the thing that's great about what you're doing, you and Karen are doing over there, is you're giving people conversation partners to figure out what they ought to be doing. And you can find that at themommyrevolution.com. And that's Carla Barnhill. Thank you, Carla. We will talk to you soon, and we'll be back here with the cripes that come on, that you got to be kidding me, which includes grocery stores. On Big Pagitt Radio, broadcasting live out of the Twin Cities on AM950.com.